But how about that, Tom? How do you sum that one up?
I think it's more of a reaction. I think we've been great at home, not so good away from home. Was very disappointed with the Boxing Day performance overall, and yeah, we wanted to make a bit of a statement today. They're an unbelievable side, but I think we was on top form today, and yeah, to react the way we did from going to go down was very good.
I'm sure any match-winning goal feels great, but to do it under the lights at the Cottage at the end of the year against Arsenal, how good did that feel?
Yeah, it's always nice. Look, we put in a performance today that everyone should be proud of, the fans and everyone else. And we had a true determination and a grit today, and we have to continue into New Year.
Despite the difficult start, as the game wore on, was it a case of more and more you really sensed that opportunity there for you this afternoon?
Yeah, I think we were resilient in our shape. We all knew what we was doing. Everyone was working hard and working for each other. And on the ball, we was very good. We understand how we can hurt them. And thankfully for me, I got the goal, right place, right time. But the lads worked really hard today and deserved the victory.
Yeah, Tom, you played your part in the first goal there, a beautiful assist. It just looked like everything was falling for you. It was clicking for you out there. Is that how it felt?
Yeah, I feel like I said, even though we were going to go down early on, I feel like there's still a belief amongst us. I mean, we've been very good here, so we've got a really feel-good factor at home. But yeah, it was key to get the equalising goal. It was a great finish from Raúl, and yeah, we kind of built on from that really.
The feel-good factor, I think we can see it in you. It's been a turbulent month, hasn't it? But for you personally, it looks like you're really enjoying that consistency that you're getting out there.
Yeah, I'm enjoying my football. It's been an unbelievable 2.5 years that the manager's been here. The club's come on leaps and bounds, and yeah, the last couple of months I've been playing good football, but I can't do that without my teammates, and we're striving for better things.
What a way for you to close out the year. How much are you looking forward now to getting into 2024 and putting a couple of tricky weeks behind you?
Yeah, no, but it's a positive. We can obviously build on this, build on our performance, and hopefully in the new year we can pick up results. Obviously we've got big cup games coming up as well, so we'll just build on that and keep going.
Well done to the both of you. Tom, you are the player of the match today, so Bob, if you wouldn't mind doing the honours, thank you.
Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, Bobby De Cordova-Reid got the winning goal in the fixture, but Tom Cairney got the Player of the Match award. Deserved, Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest, you could have named pretty much every single Fulham player. They were exceptional today. Paulina in midfield, but I was very impressed with Tom today. He's a lovely cultured footballer. He's got a beautiful left foot. He sees the pass. I think what he's added to his game, and the reason why he's getting this run of games, he's added energy to it. I think that may be the one thing. You can't play at one pace in the Premier League. You've got to raise the game every now and again. You've got to go into tackles. You've got to match people's runs. And then when you get on the ball, you've got to be strong. You've got to keep hold of it. And he looks right now probably in the form of his life. And because there was this feeling maybe that he was brilliant in the Championship, but is his level? Can he play in the Premier League? He's certainly proved it today, and he's been proving it for months. I thought it was fabulous today. And when he made that equalising goal with that left foot, I think it just summed up his game. And I think as well, it really helps playing alongside Paulina, because that must be a joy. If you want to be a footballer and you've got someone that's just filling in the voids, like every time Paulina sort of senses danger, that you could see that it rubs off on you. And I think that's probably what's made Tom even better defensively and offensively, because he's playing with a brilliant partner there.
Yeah, goal and 3 assists for Tom Cairney in December. But as you said, the balance of that midfield seems right at the moment.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say the balance in there with Iwobi, who's the legs, the energy. We saw what he's brought to this side offensively and defensively. He's willing to do the work alongside Paulini. And then Tom Cairney's sort of luxury, calm, composed figure. And I think what I loved about watching him play, and we know he's gotten it in his locker because he's had to work hard to get into this team, by the way, is that he brings that sense of composure to the team, and the timing of when he releases the ball, it's just so intelligent, because he gives this team the opportunity to sustain attacks. And I think that's priceless within a team. And in a midfield balance like that, I think Fulham, if they can play like that again and keep moving forwards, they're only going one way.
I think you're so right, because they won that midfield battle today. We talk about that's where you win and lose matches. But with Rice and Odegaard and Havertz, they never quite got that balance right today. They weren't had enough energy. They didn't have that quality that they normally possess. It didn't happen very much last year when their midfield was getting outplayed. But in every department, I thought Fulham were the better side today. Considering how well Arsenal started after 5 minutes, I thought do that. And I felt this might be a real theme for the game with Castagna and Martinelli, and you can see there the distance. Castagna's one cross is a bit of risk reward, and Martinelli will take him the other way. Castagna's very good offensively, but defensively that's
can't
not
do
maybe
much when
his
he's over the advertising.
No, that doesn't help. But you can see then that Paulina has to travel and help out his midfield. He runs 50 yards to come and help them. and he's the first to engage. And I thought, well, this is going to be perfect for us. We'll just keep hitting him on the counter-attack. Paulino obviously should do better. He should show him onto his left foot. Saka takes a risk in at the back post. Anthony Robinson, you can see him right there trying to get up alongside him. He does his job there. But what he doesn't do is maybe get his arm out to block him, to stop him. And you can see there, he's got him, but he doesn't slip in behind him. And that's where the goal comes from. It's obviously a scruffy finish, but it should have been the catalyst for Arsenal to go on and win this game so comfortably. They've got the players to do it, but they just didn't have that spark today, did they?
They didn't. I'm just looking at the goal as well, and Bassey, he was exceptional today at the back for Fulham, but on that occasion for the goal, he just didn't react quick enough, did he? And that's why Saka got the goal. But overall, I thought, Fulham's shape, exceptional, and Arsenal, missed a massive opportunity again after going 1-0 up to go and kill the game, but credit to Fulham.
And while they've been criticised, Arsenal, for not finishing their chances, did they create enough in this game? Because it was only one shot on target from their goal to the end of the match.
Well, they did create enough. We saw in the second half there was 3 massive chances. I think that we're looking at Arsenal, and it's ironic that their goal actually came from a transition, a quick thinking from Raya winning the ball back, the counter-attack, Martinelli running in advance, and Saka obviously getting that finish. But so often we've seen with Arsenal, we're asking what the wider problem is. I don't want to say problem, but teams are dropping off against them, and they're then having to break the team down, and they seem quite composed doing that, and they seem quite comfortable doing that. But I think Arsenal's best opportunities, and where you get the best out of the players like Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, is when the ball transitions. And I think they need to kind of adjust. They need to be a bit more committal. They need to drive at players a little bit more, create little ricochets, and then go and play off that, because at the moment they're struggling to break teams down, and that's what West Ham did really well the other night as well.
Yeah, and then Fulham were able to take advantage. And Raúl Jiménez, they've been missing him with his suspension when he got sent off against Newcastle. But they haven't scored in the Premier League while he's been missing from the team. And now he was back, he gets his goal.
Yeah, that horrendous injury. We didn't know if he'd play again. And £5.5 million from Wolves is an absolute snip. He's got good quality. He's found his confidence again, because you can't imagine, you pick up injuries as a player, but very rarely will someone have something so serious as a fractured skull. But he is now back to the Wolves player that we all respected, and it was so important for them. That cross is delicious. It's inviting. It's saying, there you go, put me in the net. But he still has a lot to do. It is a brilliant finish, and it was nothing more than they deserved. That was after half an hour of the game, and he was brilliantly involved in that goal. And, I just felt with Arsenal, like when you talk about the problems they have, it feels right now, we were talking before the game about the forwards and getting enough goals. But I look at the fullbacks, what are they bringing at the moment? He tried to change at half-time, bringing Tommy Asu. Tommy Asu then comes in at midfield, and all he did was just make a nuisance of himself for his own team, because it was never given any width. Sometimes if he comes out and you can create 2v1s, and maybe you go, then De Cordova-Reid has to go mark him. But Tommy Asu just looked lost in there, and I just don't think that certainly helped the situation. Midfield, they weren't quite right, and they're obviously not creating enough, so they're not going to score goals. It's like so much possession without the purpose that you need.
But Fulham were the exact opposite, because that's what we heard Bobby De Cordova-Reid say in his post-match interview, that they all knew what their jobs were. They were all motivated. He talked about their resilience. And he sort of exemplified that by getting the winning goal in the game.
This is messy. Let's be really honest. The first contact here from Paulina. Declan Rice does really well to get a deflection on it. But you highlighted it, Jamie, during the game. It's Gabriel on De Cordova-Reid. You can just see the contact there. He's bullying him. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's normal. But it's just the way that De Cordova-Reid reacts. If you watch it from a better angle here, as he spins when the ball comes back in, Gabriel's just giving him another push, lets him know he's there. I think he thinks he's going to win the ball first, Gabriel. And then as the ball comes back in, it's just the ricochet. And then, Jamie, you were on about this, weren't you? The ricochet, a bit of a loose clearance off Tommy Asu, and then De Cordova-Reid, like what every good forward should do, instinctive reacts, turns, and just no nonsense back of the net.
Is it one clean sheet in the whole of December for Arsenal in 7 games? We focused at the start of the programme about their lack of ability to convert those chances. Mikel Arteta said in the build-up to this one, we need to focus at both ends of the pitch. Is that now where the focus is going to be after this game?
Yeah, because what it does, when you feel like the forwards aren't producing and there's no goals, that then puts a pressure on the defence, and you try to maybe force things at times. You leave yourself a little bit exposed. But I think even from that corner, I always think of Arsenal, they're a big side from set pieces. He got embroiled in a battle there he really shouldn't have. He should have just been calm in his defending. Declan Rice is trying to wrestle the player. He's not really concentrating on where the ball is. He loses that individual battle with Paulina. The ball then bounces around. It's pinball, and anything can then happen. But I think it's just symptomatic of what Arsenal are right now. They're they're a bit lost. They've got to find their confidence. I think Man City probably breathing down their necks. They're looking at other sides. I think people felt that Arsenal would just go on, and now this might be a little bit of a procession for them. But this might be the reality check they need, because they're right off it at the moment. They're talking about getting a centre forward in. Ivan Toney is what Arsenal fans obviously want, but are Brentford going to sell a centre forward right now with the injuries they've got? And Buemo's out, and it's getting precarious for them. They need to keep him. So that is an area where they need to strengthen, but they might have to be creative. They might have to get a loan or something, because it's not going to be easy to buy that centre forward. It's all of a sudden everything's going to click and it's going to be magic, because there's more problems than answers, certainly defensively as well at the moment.
Let's get some more insight into what's happening in that Arsenal dressing room. Declan Rice is with Emma Saunders.
Exactly, another really disappointing afternoon for you. How do you reflect on this one?
Very disappointing. Very tough to take. Obviously, not good enough from us again today. Obviously, the last two results have not been what we've required, or been setting over the course of the season. We've been performing very well up until the last two games, especially off the back of the draw at Liverpool. We felt like we could really kick on, but with two defeats, it's a tough one to swallow.
Is there any kind of common thread that you can join across the two defeats that you've had at West Ham and against West Ham and here?
No, I think obviously the game, against West Ham, we had 30 shots, so many touches in the opposition's box, just couldn't put it away. And today, when you go 1-0 up, you need to take more control. You need to have more, self-belief. You need to have more desire. The mentality needs to be better, and we need to demand more from each other. When you're pushing up that end of the table.
Why don't you think you were able to do that today, to sort of kick on once you did get that all-important goal?
I'm not saying we didn't do it, because we still tried to push for more, but ultimately Fulham have won the game, and you've got to look at why they've won the game. And once we went 1-0 up, that's what I'm saying, where we've got to push on again, and you've got to go for more. Because in this league, there's no room to mess up, because there's so many good teams around you, and obviously we want to be pushing up the top end of the table. So yeah, it's a tough one to take today.
What kind of conversations were you having in the dressing room at half time?
Look, we dominated the ball. We played some really good stuff, but it was just, again, not putting the ball in the back of the net. Fulham defending really well. It was about going out second half and, really pushing. We knew today 3 points would put us back on top. And that was the message at half time, that we go out there, we keep pushing, we keep fighting. And in the end, the goal went to Fulham, and we couldn't get one back. And it's, like I said, it's two defeats in a row. It's time to reset and we go again.
You're fourth in the table going into the new year, just the 2 points off top. How far does it feel you are, though, from being the top team in the Premier League?
What, as in being the best team or being the team at the top?
Yeah, you'd won today. You could have gone to the top of the table. You find yourself 2 points off it, fourth, looking at that table. But how far away does it feel you are from being that top team?
To be honest, I don't really look at the table. Obviously there's a lot of media who talk and say Arsenal will win the league this year, and Arsenal are better this year and whatnot. But we don't get involved in that. We just try to take every game as we can. One by one. Like I said, we've been doing really well. We have been at the top of the table, and that's where we've wanted to be. There's been a blip in the road, but there's no room to panic. There's still so many games to go. Need to stay positive. It's not the time to be negative. We've got a great manager, a great set of players, and we'll keep going.